Good evening mga kalaro and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel that talks about a different kind of game. The reality TV game show and social experiment that just recently celebrated its 25th year anniversary, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Juxtapotito Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
Earlier you were talking about how like we can still somehow see your neck, and I was realizing that my neck is you can see two of them, and
That's why I have this, dude. That's why I have this to hide the second one.
I should grow mine out now. And it actually got me thinking, like, apparently one of the important things when you're doing ballet, right? My goddaughter had this ballet like recital, and she was saying that like one of the things that's important is that ballerinas see their neck. And I couldn't call you a ballerina because, like, are you a ballerino?
No, they call them ballerinos. No, I'm not.
Ballerino?
Farthest from it.
So like is that a ballerina? That's an interesting like word, right? I learned a new word today. A
Yeah,
ballerino slash a danseur.
yeah, dancer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, our necks are still here, guys. Yeah, my second one is being hidden by my goatee. Yeah, one of the things that you learn because you sometimes get on cam for some of the other things that you do. But yeah, so tonight,
That's why I have the pop filter right here.
yeah, there you go. Awesome. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
To hide the second one. Anyway, tonight, guys, the season may already be done, but one after the other, Jeff Probst announced casts for 49 and 50. And tonight we are going to give our thoughts about the recently announced cast for the milestone season 50 of Survivor. But
Mm.
before you begin, do consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get updated whenever we come up with new episodes on the channel. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs whenever we talk Survivor and just want to have to listen to our soothing voices, you can always go to counciloftitos.com. And so,
Yeah.
without further ado,
Maybe seeing more than two chins
yeah.
on a video with two people is offensive to you. So
So just opt for the sound only, right? Go to the podcast, counciloftitos.com. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. So, we've already seen 22 out of 24
yes.
names that are going to come out because two of them are going to come from season 49.
And we
Uh,
have thoughts.
we have thoughts. We definitely have thoughts. Your thoughts, Joe, on the season 50 cast?
Uh, it looks like a cast that was designed by committee
Ooh, why do you say that?
because there's a little bit of something for everyone, but not a cast that will satisfy a single person or a single group of people, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like everybody has a problem with the cast.
Mm, yeah.
But then if you were to solve that problem that, the super fans have, then you're getting rid of satisfying like the more
Mm-hmm.
casual fans. But then if you just stack it with Survivor Legends, then you've alienated like half of the pandemic viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a cast where there's something for everyone, but it isn't a cast that ended up becoming more than the sum of its parts.
Mm.
So it kind of looked like it kind of looked like it was designed by committee, just a bunch of check boxes.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
all right, we need to have somebody from the first season, check. We need to have
You sort of did a study, right? I mean, you based on the numbers, the 22 names that we've got, you parsed them down. Didn't you have those numbers? Like
well,
how many
it's
of them
it's
are
it's half
from?
and half. Half
Mm-hmm.
from the new era, half from the 39-day era.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is another thing that I think about this cast, right? It shows that there is kind of, even though it's a quote in the hands of the fans season or whatever, besides that, there doesn't seem to be very much else in terms of vision for the entire season.
Mm.
Because this could have gone both ways, right? But this could have gone one of two ways. It could have gone like as a celebration of Survivor. Um, well, actually, one of three ways. Sorry. As like a celebration of Survivor, where you have like all of the greats, like all of the
Mm.
legends, et cetera. Which might have meant we get like a Boston Rob come in, like a Tony
And a
Vlachos
Sandra
and
and Tony, yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, we might get, I don't know, somebody somebody like Jerry Matthew, who was
Mm-hmm.
who's dropped very late in the casting process. Or we might have gotten like a Rob Cesternino, right? Like if
Mm-hmm.
if we were looking for the absolute legends of the game. Um then there was also, it could have also been like a new era All Stars, right?
Mm.
Because they, given the number of people that they got from the new era, there's that angle, like, yeah, maybe this might be a little bit of a new era All Stars sort of thing as well. But then, again, we don't have Carolyn, we don't have Shan, we don't have very much representation from those early seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And um, the other thing that this could have been was an old era versus new era, or a
Mm.
39-day era versus like new era,
Mm.
which is the 12 and 12, right? Like 12 from the 39-day era, 12 from the new era. And it feels like there is an overall sort of lack of vision when it came to this season. It was like we're not sure really what it's trying to be.
Mm. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the cast kind of reflects that.
It reflects that because it's all over the place. It's all over the place. It's Yeah, you're right. There doesn't seem to be a through point in terms of who they put on the cast. I mean, you've got yeah, you got Jenna. I don't remember a lot. I only started really watching Survivor during Outback, so I
Hmm.
don't quite. I just know that Richard Hatch won. I do not remember Jenna from. She wasn't even in the final three, right? It was what is Rudy, Richard, and that other lady.
Yeah, she was part of the pagonging, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Or she
Jenna was
was
part
she
of the
was she
Pagonging.
was she was pagonged, right?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I mean, why her? And then you got people like from the newer, the more recent players. Why bring back Camilla and Kyle together?
Hmm.
Right? Why Tiffany?
Yeah,
Whatever did Tiffany do to deserve another shot at it? I mean, I get some of the others. Why bring D back? She
yeah.
won. It was pretty convincing the way that she won.
Well,
Uh,
see, no, see, Jenna Lewis was also in All Stars.
mm, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
she
she
was
was
also in All Stars.
probably I will need to watch the previous seasons. I'll need to to form a better opinion of some of these players because for example Stephanie Lagrosa I've seen enough content on her where she was supposed to be like a hero and
Mm,
I think she was in Heroes versus Villains, right? And then later on there was a downfall of Stephanie Lagrosa. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
She was third in All Stars,
Mm,
but then everybody just remembers All Stars as like the Robin Amber
Robin
season.
Amber.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like yeah, oh, that's another thing that this could have been. This could have been like a second chances sort of thing, you know. What's her name can find her jacket again, and
Well, Angelina's there. So,
yeah, yeah. Um, what's it like? Jenna can step out of the shadow of what's it
of Robin Amber.
of Robin Amber. Colby can redeem himself from that awful showing in All Stars. Was it All
Mm.
Stars?
Or
Or
Heroes.
was it Heroes versus Villains? I can't
Yeah, I think
remember
it was
which one it
Heroes.
was.
Where the magic of Captain America was like gone.
Yeah, he just like gave up. Like,
Mhm.
that could have been a yeah, this could have also been like another sort of second chances sort of thing, but eh,
Yeah,
again,
yeah. Second chances for some of the older era, right? Old
yeah.
era
Well,
castaways.
even some of these new era castaways, like if they hadn't put in Kyle, that would have been the perfect thing for
Exactly. Yeah.
Camilla, because
Exactly.
part of Camilla's story was she would have done good in a different season besides 48.
Hmm.
Right? That was a line that she said. Like,
Yeah.
had this been another season, right? So like
If it hadn't been a season where the strong guys put together an alliance, she would have won. Yeah, she would have
yeah,
done
so
better.
there's that there's your second chance
Yeah.
thing with her, right?
And
So
Genevieve and Charlie also, right? Second
uh
chances for them as well.
well, I mean, fifth chances for some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, like Siri, Colby, I don't know. But yeah, part of it is also because of the snubs. I mean, you did mention how this does seem like a cast put together by committee, and there is no one fan, super fans at that, who will be happy with the entire 22 or 24 later on, right? Because of the snubs. You've got,
Yeah.
I mean, our boy Jesse, right?
Yeah.
The Jesse was a big snub. Maybe, but he's, I don't know. Does he have social media? Did he ever come out with a statement afterwards?
I don't,
Uh,
but I do know that he like keeps he's still like fairly active in the community, right? Like
mhm.
he hangs out with Rob Sesternino.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So yeah,
They're
so
like, you know,
you've got him, and Penner came out with something. He came out with a post afterwards. He's another snub for me. That was a snub that was a big snub. And then of course the most recent one, Shaheen. For me, instead of Kyle, it should have been Shaheen.
yeah, I agree with you on that. Um, well, yeah. Um, I don't think they needed three people for 48.
That's true
This, you know,
as
this
well.
should have been Shaheen and Camilla,
Hmm.
I
Yeah, Joe.
think.
I mean, Joe's. Well, but I guess you can also say that Joe will get that chance to play without the quote unquote. It's not. I'm not saying that she is, but the baggage of Eva, right? Of
That's
having to
true.
take care of an Eva, or having his story tied to an Eva, just in the same way
Mm.
that Camilla is allowed to play without her story being tied to someone like Kyle.
Yet here we Kyle, oh man, Kyle has first boot written all over him.
Yeah,
Kyle and maybe D.
yeah. I
But
mean,
then
they're taking out the
in
winners
terms
right away.
of
I'm sure that they're taking out the winners.
yeah, because Jenna is on there. It was Jenna during All Stars was like, we get rid of all of the winners.
Hmm.
Like that was one of her storylines, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah. Uh and even like the more casual fans, might not necessarily know, Chrissy, Aubrey,
Mm. Oh, another five fifth chance guy, Aussie, of course.
Aussie. Yeah. You know.
Even Coach, come on, Coach has played so many times already. I don't know what else he can bring, unless he's like got something new coming in,
You
right?
know, the thing that I find interesting though, like Coach, I don't mind in the sense that I want to see Coach interact with somebody like Q.
Okay, okay. Well, I want to see a lot of them interact with. I want to see Q interact with a lot of them. How that's gonna turn out.
But like specifically, I want to see Q and Coach and see what sparks fly there. You know,
Okay, all right, yeah.
there's that.
And what happens when Christian Hobiki gets into a conversation with Q, right?
Yeah, so
Well,
there.
yeah. One thing that I like though is that you've got a lot of players. I mean, Season 48, it wasn't, and the players weren't really playing. They were playing chicken with each other, Shaheen and Kyle, right?
Yeah.
And this time you've got some players. You've got so you've got Suri. Yeah, this is her like millionth time at it, but at least she's a player. She has
Mm.
sort of developed into a player, right? From the couch potato that's tried out Survivor, and now she's now a player. She won Traders, didn't she? She did, right? As a
Yeah,
trader.
yeah.
Yeah,
The first season of the Traders US.
yeah. And then Christian is a player. Devens is a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you've got Charlie. I would like to think Genevieve also, and
Yeah.
Camilla. You know, these are gonna. If you've got players, it's not gonna be a boring season. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. Aside from the fact that you've got Q there, yeah.
What do you mean cube? The man is like a one-liner machine. The the weird person is Mike White. I think that's kind of weird that they have Mike
Mm,
White on there. But,
mm,
you know, I suppose they have to pull in the casuals, right?
yeah, yeah. He's so famous now with White Lotus, so yeah,
Yeah.
they got to bring him in. Oh, and another thing, I like the fact that we have sort of the Avengers now. On the cast, you've got Thor and Jonathan Young, an old Captain America and Colby. You got it's not exactly the MCU Spider-Man, but you've got Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Charlie. And
Yeah.
I've finally figured out who Joe is. Joe is the Hulk, right? So yeah, so you've got that.
Hmm?
You've got that going for you. We just need a Black Widow right now. It looks like it's gonna be Genevieve, maybe. And Hawkeye, I don't know who that is. Q might be, I don't know who he can be. T'Challa, Black Panther. We've got Avengers, man. We've got the Avengers. We just don't have an Iron Man. That's Christian Hubicki. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Christian Ubicki is Iron Man. Let's put it there.
right. Yeah. So yeah, you've got the
Uh,
Avengers there. Devins, I love that Devins is here. I love that Devins is. I mean, he's been around. He's been very active. I mean, it was one of the last few things that they cut out of Winners at Warrior, right? That he was supposed to be a sort of bartender kind of person who would work with fire tokens or something like that.
yeah, in for
Was it Winners at War or
41 for
for
41.
41? For 41, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Best season of the new era.
Mm. So far, yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
Only
of
because of the
course,
winner.
only because of the winner.
The rest of it, nah.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that speak going back to your point on second chances. Emily is on this cast. Right?
Yeah.
That's one of the big pluses for me for this cast that she's here. She will have a better lay of the land. Although this will be again, it will be a different lay of the land because we've got old school and new school players, so it will be a different kind of thing going on. And
Mm.
yeah, it'll be fun seeing her interact with Genevieve. These are
Yeah.
two very they play the game at a different level.
I also wonder, like, that's the thing about this. Like, there are a lot of there's actually a lot to like from this cast,
Mm,
and like even um I don't want to use the word poisoned, but a lot of our impressions of the cast um was were were
what?
a lot of our impressions of the cast were, yeah, plural, um not well like I said, I don't want to use the word poisoned. We're not even tainted, but we're looked through the lens of the players that were cut, no, like knowing who the players that were cut are, like looking at what we kind of wanted the season to be, who we wanted to be included in the season. Like a lot of it is looked through those kinds of lenses. that we kind of forgot that this is actually a pretty good cast.
Might be. It might. Yeah, you're right. It might be because of our expectations,
Yeah, and
right?
I kind of blame like Survivor for that. I kind of blame like CBS for that. Like yeah, they kind of they they were hyping it up like winners at war basically. Like,
Mm,
we get a solid season, but we don't get a winners at war level cast,
mm-hmm,
you know,
mm-hmm.
which like we could have gotten a winners at war level cast,
Yeah,
excluding like
winners part.
if we bring in, yeah, if we bring in like some of the snobs, like if we bring in Jerry Matthew, if we bring in
Mm-hmm,
um Carolyn, if we bring in like Jesse, right? If we bring in Shan, maybe
mm-hmm.
if she's still into it. Well, what's
Omer.
his name? Yeah, Omer. Uh, Godfather guy, the guy that calls himself Godfather. He has a really cool Satchmo sort of voice. James.
James. Big guy James.
Wait, Jeremy? Wait, huh? Wait. Uh,
Godfather. Who's Godfather in Survivor? I only know Rob Father.
yeah. I'm trying to remember his name. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh,
From a recent season.
yeah. Let me James Jones,
James
the
Jones.
big guy. Yeah. James Jones from Survivor 43.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All right.
The guy with such a cool voice. Like really, great strategic mind.
Mm-hmm,
Big personality, right? Like we could have gotten a cast like that.
mm-hmm.
And we didn't get a cast like that, but looking at the cast list and having like a week to think about it, this is a good cast. A lot of built-in storylines, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of really a lot of really big personalities. There's the new school versus old school angle that we can potentially have going on. We have a couple of winners that they can take out. That they have to stay kind of under the radar. We have a few second chance sort of people. Um, we have people that feel the need to prove themselves. We have people that that might want a White Lotus cameo, right? So it's like we have this entire sort of hodgepodge of, or yeah, we have an entire hodgepodge of potential storylines. And again, it's a good cast, but it isn't one that ended up being greater than the sum of its parts,
Yeah,
which is kind of paradoxical in that way.
yeah. It's we go back. We keep on going back to this. This well of our theater experience. There's a lot of quote unquote moments that are good, right? But as a whole, it's not like giving that wow effect, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. It
I don't
isn't a
know.
cast that wows you.
Yeah, we can't quite see the entirety of the wisdom of this casting, right? So we're left to figure out whether or not it's gonna work.
Uh,
Right? It's yeah,
well, as we are recording this morning, they are currently in Fiji.
yeah.
So I suppose we could like vibes them. Good vibes. Good season, please.
Good season, please play well, season 50. But yeah,
And please make the 249s the first boot.
too sad. I mean, they had their cast announcement hijacked basically
Yeah.
by by the promise of a season 50 cast announcement.
Yeah, that
And
49 had better be a stellar season.
exactly, exactly. And then yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see in a couple of months. It's in the fall, so that's September. I mean, you TV
Yeah.
season in the US starts in September. The original TV season because it's not like that anymore, right? Yeah.
So,
So
who are you looking forward to kind of the most? Just a couple of names from this cast that you're looking forward to playing the most or seeing on your TV again.
probably, hmm, let me go through the list that I've got. I'm expecting less from the old school guys. Maybe
Hmm?
no, because I think that I've seen enough of Christian Hibiki. Uh,
Really? I mean, from
yeah,
all of his extra stuff, or from all of like his
yeah,
appearances with
yeah.
Rob Sestrin,
Outside, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and just that one challenge where he was talking the entire time.
I
Yeah.
want to see him and Rick Devens like talk.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah. So yeah. So if it's from the old cast, it's Devon's. Devon's. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see how he can, how he does in more or less a more balanced playing field, a more level playing field where everyone already knows what he can do, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I am most excited for how Emily will play this for this season. I mean, like
Hmm.
we what we said in the previous episode, automatically my winner pick is Joe because I want to see him win. But yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see how Emily will perform. Yeah, because I think I don't. Yeah, we talked about this as well. Some of their stories are not yet complete, and I think
Hmm.
that hers isn't complete yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Na ano ang Survivor? Feeling ko medyo nasuya sila because Suri quote unquote finished her story in the
And
Traders.
traders.
So they had to bring her back to finish the story.
So are you predicting a Siri Fields win for
No,
Survivor
no,
50?
no. This is an epilogue, right? This is an
Ah,
epilogue
okay.
for it's an
Okay.
epilogue. Um, yeah. I don't think she's gonna win. I hope in a way I hope she doesn't win.
Mm, okay.
You know? Yeah.
Is there going to
Like
be a new strong guy alliance? Strong group alliance? You've got Joe, you've got Jonathan, you've got what Colby, he's not that strong
Colby
anymore. And
Q.
then Ozzy, Q, right? And then you'll have like the
Coach.
coach, yeah.
Are we gonna have a new like dysfunctional honor alliance with like Coach Q Joe?
Right? And then yeah, you got that guy who's weirdly in the strong alliance, like Christian Hibiki. Uh
Yeah. Man, I want to see Christian, Vicky, and Jonathan hang out. It's gonna be like shades of the bro chachos.
mm,
The
exactly. Exactly. That's why, right? The Christian was like the fourth bro chacho.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So well
What about you? Who are the two names that you are most excited about seeing?
um from the uh I don't want to call it the old era, right? From the 39-day era. From the
The
39-day
pre
era.
40 era.
Yeah, the pre-40 era. Um, I kind of want to see Christian Hubicki play again.
Mm,
You know, like to see what it would be like with everybody knowing just what he's capable of
mm.
strategically, right? Um, and well, with the new era, I want to see Q. I want to see like how he's going to flame out this season if he is.
And then Q suddenly becomes like this Christian Hibiki level game player,
Yeah.
right?
Like I think for different reasons, for very different reasons, I'm like
Mm,
I'm looking forward to Christian Hubicki and Q Burdett. Burdett?
I
Yeah,
forgot. Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them two play for very different reasons.
So yeah, those are things that we're going to look out for. Any any
Oh,
expectations?
here's another thing that I find
Mm,
interesting about this cast. All of them, um, all of them have some like all of them are on their face a threat.
okay. Well, I'm going through all of the 22 names that we've got. And while yes, she did have some a lot of screen time during her season. I do not really. I mean, the game of Tiffany does not have any. I don't recall anything about her game.
This is
Basically.
this is the thing that I find super interesting about Tiffany. A lot of her game in 46 was um well a lot of what happened to her in 46 was clashing with Q.
Yeah.
So like I again I'm three people from 46. I think they should have
Hmm.
just picked one of the two. They should have just picked either Q or Tiffany.
Maybe they want to see that clash again. Is that's probably
Yeah, maybe.
right? They've got
Yeah.
these pairs, Kyle and Camilla, try and see what how they're gonna fare. Tiffany
Yeah.
and Q.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of them are kind of on their face
Mm-hmm.
a threat, which means like it's difficult to necessarily pick out a first boot.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
something else that I kind of like about this cast. If there's one thing I hate about the cast is there is nobody that is just straightforward Asian.
Yeah.
The closest thing that we have to Asian is Camilla, but then Guyana is South American. We have to keep reminding ourselves
Yeah.
of that.
It's South American. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, there's no one. It's for the first time in the new era.
Yep, ever since they did away with the diversity mandate,
Mm-hmm.
or now that they don't have the diversity mandate,
Mm-hmm.
no more Asian.
Yeah. No one that we can root for just because.
Yeah, they're listening to us.
They should have Owen, another snub. Owen, that's another snub, man.
Yeah, that would be cool to see Owen.
Yeah.
I subscribe to like the theory that 48 should have been a new era All Stars.
Oh. Why?
That way they won't have snubs.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm,
like
because
apparently
they'll already have played in All Stars. Yeah.
yeah, because there's a lot of I think this is the longest time that Survivor has gone without having a returning season or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So there are a lot of players that haven't played in a returning season, and it would have been nice to have like 48 as sort of a new era All Stars, so that we can get some truly legendary new era players and then put them in Survivor 50 along with the legends of the pre-COVID era,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know? Bring back Cowboy. Yeah. I think should have been. I think it should have been a new era All Stars, and you can cut down the number of like new era players from 50.
From 50. Yeah. Yeah. Any other things that you are expecting in terms of it's still gonna be 26 days, right? They're gonna be playing new era length or
New era rules.
No, not necessarily, because I mean, in the hands of the fans, it did change up some of the stuff, right?
Yeah, but I think we're expecting a 26-day season,
Mm-hmm.
which um which means, and like this is sort of the word that's going around. If you're gonna have a 26-day season with 24 players, you're going to have a lot of double eliminations. So it
Mm.
might be three tribes, and the two losing tribes go to tribal council.
Oh,
And
wow.
then once they have emerged, then it becomes single boots,
Wow.
which is kind of sad, yo. Which is kind of sad. That makes Jonathan and Joe a lot more powerful
Mm.
in the early game.
Yeah, because
If you know,
the muscles are always like, yeah, pre-merge. They're always big there. Yeah, but I speaking of the three tribes, there was a post somewhere where apparently a tourist passed by Survivor Island in
ooh,
Fiji and saw a setup for a challenge.
oh yeah, I
And yeah, it
remember.
seems to have confirmed that there are going to be three tribes because there were uh, three setups. Yeah,
I was hoping, here I was hoping that it was going to be two tribes of 12.
two tribes of 12. Oh my God, that's huge.
That's an entire Australian survivor tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yeah. Two tribes of 12. The like pre-COVID and post-COVID
Mm-hmm.
uh players. Like old school versus new school or whatever. Old era versus new era. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? So okay. So given that it most likely is a three tribe uh setup. Yeah, you already said that you want to see Christian and Jonathan interact. So you're gonna want them to both be in the same tribe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think if you're gonna split up the strong guys, because they always do that, right? There's always at least one strong guy,
Mm.
uh, and one strong male and one strong female in each tribe. So it's gonna be Joe, Jonathan, Q. Is it Q over Ozzy as the
Well,
strong
I
guy?
can I can see it being like Joe, Jonathan, and Q are on
Mm-hmm.
uh separate tribes, and
Yeah.
then you have Colby, Ozzy, and Coach on separate tribes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like that sort of
Mm.
thing. So you have like two two quote strong dudes
Oh
on
yeah, yeah.
each tribe,
Since
one
it's like,
from
yeah, since it's eight per tribe. So yeah, it makes sense that there's more than one strong guy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like I
But then
can
again,
I can
Jonathan
kind of see
Young
that.
counts for like five strong guys.
Oh well, yeah, but then somebody like Christian Hubicki counts
Ah,
as like
negative
three
one.
puzzlers.
Ah, okay. Right.
But so we're pretty sure that we're going to have Christian Hubicki and like Jonathan in the same tribe, right?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
that's
that. But
if that's what
actually,
we're saying.
if you think about it, that tribe is going to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, because they have like the strong dude and they have like the smart dude.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, and for the women, you've got. I do remember Stephanie Lagrosa is one of the stronger females. I think Tiffany is also one of the
Mm.
stronger females. I do not know who the third one is. It is not Angelina.
Hmm.
It's not Aubrey. It's not Suri. Is it Jenna?
Hmm.
Uh, or D?
She
D?
she has a strong toe.
Yeah. Got strong toes.
She can pull out grass with her toes.
Yeah.
Question for you. If
Mm.
you were putting together the tribes for Survivor 50, um, would you put the 48s, 46s, and David versus Goliaths on different tribes?
I
So like, yeah.
It depends on hmm, it
Like
depends
would
on
you
the
have
priority.
Tiffany?
It depends on the priority. If the priority is for them to be in an uncomfortable position, yes, I would. Well, both ways are uncomfortable. But if I want them to not be in a familiar position, right? So I'd split them up. But if I want to see what story comes out of, say, for example, putting Camilla and Kyle in the same tribe and trying to see if they can pull off something similar to what they did in 48, then you put them
Mm.
together, right? Whatever serves the story better, or whatever serves the ulterior motives of Jeff Probst and Mark Burnett more, right?
It's no longer Mark Burnett, right? It's
Oh, isn't it?
what's his name? I don't know.
Well,
Really?
CBS, whoever in CBS.
Well, executive. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll look that up at some point, and we'll include it in the show notes. The
Hmm.
current executive producers of like 40. Yeah, but like, yeah, because that could have been something else that they considered. Like when I'm trying to think of the sort of rationale behind why, like what constrained the casting directors to pick the cast that they did, right? I don't
Mm.
know. Um, yeah, like archetypes, of course. But then,
Mm.
I don't know. You can't have Christian Angelina and Mike on the same tribe necessarily. Mike White on the same tribe necessarily.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would separate out, yeah, Q, Charlie, and Tiffany, and I would separate out Kyle, Joan, Camilla,
Mm.
put them
Yeah.
on different tribes. So part of the story becomes surviving to be able to like meet up with them at the merge. Uh, or if they find out that they were brutally taken out, then it becomes like a revenge arc.
Mm. But
Like
then again,
imagine
yeah, that
Kyle
that
taken out
that
and then
becomes
Camilla goes on a revenge arc against whoever his initial tribe was.
whatever happens though. These trios, there's not duos anymore. 48 had duos, now they're trios. These trios will have targets on their back, whether or not they're together, right, in the same tribe, whether they're in the same tribe or in different tribes, because all of the others will just think, you know what, come merge, they'll immediately gravitate towards those with whom they were on the same season. So we have to take them
Yeah.
out early.
Yeah. Which is why I think like if I were trying to tease that out
Mm,
of a cast, then yeah, I would have 3 seasons with 3 representatives on them. That way you have more of a chance of like a pairing making it to the merge,
mm, yeah,
or potentially a trio making it to the merge.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I find it weird that Tiffany's here. Maybe yeah, because of the fact that she clashes a lot with Q. That's the
I look at Tiffany as a sort of second chance type in this game. Like sh it was because of Q that she wasn't able to like Q clipped her wings in 46, I think.
mm,
At least I think that's kind of the story that we're supposed to start the season off with.
hmm,
Like, can she this time around overcome the constipation that is Q to her smooth bowel movement?
Q constipation. Anyway, uh, one castaway that we are more or less taking for granted is Aubrey, right? Uh, Aubrey was a pretty. I mean, she had that good run, and she had, how many times has she played? 3 times, 4 times. She
I
had that
mean,
one season where she played really well, and I remember at one point in time rooting for her, like
hmm.
really rooting for her. And then again, I always gravitate towards the underdogs. Uh, but yeah.
Okay, so maybe to complete the circle, man, Aubrey is gonna be first boot of this season because like in Korong, she was the runner up.
Mm,
At her first time playing, she was the runner up. In Game Changers, she was fifth. In Edge of Extinction, she was 16th. So it's
Not to
like,
complete the whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, so now to complete sort of the infinity gauntlet of Survivor finishes, she should be like the first boot.
Okay. Okay. Outside of Aubrey, who who do you think is gonna be first boot? You already mentioned someone else earlier, right? Uh, yeah. I actually
That,
have. Oh my God. I have. Uh, I have Mike White as first boot for some reason.
really?
Yeah.
You think he's gonna be first boot? Oh,
Yeah. Well, I think that he's got a lot of good vibes, or people will like him a lot. People won't like to vote him up because they want to be on White Lotus.
yeah. Vibes, man, vibes. Yeah. But what's it also? That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Like this cast has a lot of like a lot of them are potential threats, which also means that a lot of them are potential shields. Like
Mm,
there is that angle where people are gonna be like, "Yo, let's keep Mike White. He might he might be like somebody that the jury isn't gonna give a million to."
mm-hmm.
If
That's
at
true.
Final Tribal we can say like the only reason you're here is at Final Tribal is because we allowed you to be here. You're rich. Like there's that angle again.
Mm.
So I guess with this cast, what we're saying is we're sort of cautiously optimistic from like the initial disappointment we have. Where this is sort of my journey through it, right? It was like the initial disappointment, then sort of huffing a lot of copium until I've reached the point where I'm cautiously optimistic.
That it's gonna be a good season. Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted Rob Sesternino to be on the cast.
Or Fishback, at the very least, right?
Yeah. Repping the podcasters.
Yeah.
Man.
Or even, who's your most recent favorite? Sam.
Yeah, Sam Phelan.
Yeah. None of them are on it. I don't know. Maybe because they needed Rob and Fishback to, complete the ecosystem.
Actually, actually I was thinking that. Like again, if I were a casting producer and I was thinking of any reason to cut somebody and
Mhm.
I saw like Rob Sesternino on there, I would actually consider like the reason to cut him be the fact that we need good podcast coverage
Mm.
because those two idiots from the Philippines sure aren't going to cut it.
Right? Yeah, they need those guys. Otherwise, it's gonna be on our hands.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it is in the hands of the fans,
it is. Yeah, it is in the hands of the fans. True.
but
Yeah.
not fans outside of the US.
Unfortunately, CBS did not open it up to fans outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
Uh, or
The
North America, right? No one from outside of North America could vote.
really Mexicans could vote?
Aren't they Central America?
Mexico's North America.
Is it? Oh, okay. I did
I
not
th-
know that.
is it?
Anyway, in the hands of the fans, that is sort of the working title that it has right now. But any other title thoughts that you could might have?
Man, if you look at all of the official like stuff that they put out, it looks so freaking amateur. Like it looks like it was in the hands of the fans and not like in the hands of a professional graphic designer.
That initial post that they came out with before Jeff actually had that video,
Yeah,
right?
the one with like all of their
All of the
faces there,
faces.
like
MS
somebody,
Paint.
like
Survivor
somebody,
50, MS Paint.
like somebody in CBS is like passionate about Photoshop. Um, Like even the logo looks really amateurish. I'm sorry, right? It looks quite amateurish. Maybe that's the whole aesthetic and the whole like vibe they're going for.
Going
Like
back
so,
to going
yeah.
back to the first season.
Like if you had somebody from the year 2000s, all of if from somebody from the year 2000 all of a sudden show up in 2025 given all of the new technology that we have in terms of graphic design, but like absolutely no instruction, what sort of thing would they end up making?
The first few pub mats that we've gotten. That's exactly what they come up with.
God, it looks so bad, dude. Like I thought it was I thought it was like a fan edit, dude, because that's like
Me too.
that initial like
I thought it was fake news.
yeah, dude, like that's my level of like proficiency with graphic design. Like CBS, hire me. If like that's the bar, bro, hire me. Like,
So yeah, I had this thought because we've been talking about in the hands of the fans, and I'm what came out in the voting. It's gonna be a live reveal, right? They're gonna go back to
um,
live reveal,
we don't know.
or they didn't they already like reveal what the results were from the fan
No,
voting? No.
nope.
Oh, okay.
Like part of the conceit of the season is that the players won't know what the fans voted for. Like they'll
Oh.
find out on the island whether or not they're gonna have like a bunch of idols or not.
Mm,
They're gonna find out towards the end whether or not there's gonna be a final four fire making, that sort of
mhm.
thing. They're
Oh,
gonna
I
find
thought
out, you know.
I thought they had already. Yeah, but for me, for example, if we're gonna have a live reveal, and they're gonna go with the whole in the hands of the fans thing, they're gonna finally give in to what Russell Hantz wanted before and have the fans vote just to
Ugh.
spite him, just to spite Russell Hantz. They're gonna have the fans vote, but of course, it's not gonna be entirely in the hands of the fans. It'll count for a portion of who wins. Basically, the fans will have one vote. They'll be the ninth vote, right?
So it's going to be Survivor 50 in the hands of the fan.
Right? Because that's what Russell wanted. He wanted the fans to vote, right,
Yeah.
for the winner because he thought that he was the fan favorite.
I mean, they could bring back the whole fan favorite thing. There was like
Yeah,
a
there was for
time in
2
Survivor, right?
yeah,
Where there was like a fan favorite vote as well,
yeah, yeah.
which was kind of supplanted by like the Sia Prize
The
of
Sia prize.
Excellence.
Yeah.
And then like now that we no longer have the Sia Prize, you know what Survivor should do? This is this is uh this is free CBS. Jeff, I know
I
you're
know you're
listening.
listening.
Uh have it be like a crowd-funded thing. Like put it
Mhm.
on right like put it on
On GoFundMe, Kickstarter.
GoFundMe or Kickstarter or something like that where like it's like an America Votes thing. And in order for you to cast a vote for your favorite, you have to throw in like $1. And whoever gets the most votes at the end of the season gets the entire prize pot.
Ooh, that's nice. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's something
And
that like a
then,
couple of esports things have done in the past, right? Where they
hmm,
like yeah, where like you can buy in-game stuff and the proceeds of that go to the prize fund for the world championships of that esport. Like, you know,
mm,
Jeff,
yeah,
and maybe open it up worldwide, you know?
worldwide. And then turns out that the fan pot is more than $1 million.
Yeah. And that's Russell Hans' dream.
Yeah.
Or you know, maybe cap it out at 500K. I don't know. Like right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'll actually give fans their voice back as to who they want to win. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
who they
in
thought
a
played the best, basically.
yeah.
Or maybe who entertained them the best.
It doesn't really matter. It's in the hands of the
It's in
fans,
the hands of the fans.
right?
It's in the
Maybe
hands of the hands.
yeah, maybe somebody found like Coach exceedingly sexy, and so they voted for Coach. That could be it, right?
Yeah. 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 And because we're talking about new era versus old era, I've got the other possible title for this. It's the Survivor 50 Eras Tour, and then they've got Taylor Swift coming in to take over the Sia the Sia
The Sia
prize.
prize. You're just handing Charlie the win at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly, exactly. Charlie gets the what $100,000. How much did Sia give before?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Depends. Or it
it was like
depended,
it
right?
was it was like an aggregate. I mean, there was a number, and then sometimes she'd split it up.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Man, if I were a millionaire, if I were a dollar millionaire,
Mm.
because God knows I'm a Vietnam dong and like Indonesian rupiah millionaire. Yeah, here's 100,000 rupiah. Here's 100,000 dong. Like, no problem. But if I were a dollar millionaire,
Mm.
well, yeah, I'd probably, I'd be like, yeah, here's like $100,000 for like not eating animals or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts about the cast and or the upcoming season, or the upcoming season 50, not 49, unfortunately.
Yeah, because this is going to be our, I guess, last season 50 coverage
The actual.
until the spring of next year, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. Oh. Uh. I'm just really disappointed that there is nobody that is like Asian
Asian. Yeah.
on their face.
Saul could have been on there.
Yeah.
Saul
Right.
should have been on there.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you know what, Jeff? I know you're listening. I'm going to accept like Survivor 51. Oops, all Asians. Like, just as a way to like, Survivor 50, no Asians, make 51
Hmm.
a returning season. Oops, all Asians from all eras. So maybe we can get like a Yule. We can get
Hmm.
Cowboy. We can
Hmm.
get Saul. We can get
Hmm.
Erica, greatest winner of all time.
Of all
Uh,
time.
um, you know, maybe we can get controversial take Rachel, right? Who spent years of her life as a child in Thailand, right?
Mhm.
So she's an Asian, you know.
Oh, just a bit of trivia that I found out a couple of weeks ago about Rachel. She, I think she made a post. She and Shaheen were actually alternates on the same season.
Yeah, yeah. They're like friends. They're like good
Yeah, they're
friends.
like friends. Yeah,
Like from before, even
because of that
oh,
encounter. Like
yeah,
they were in the tent together, and then she like approached him, and then they became friends. Yeah,
yeah.
all the more reason Shaheen should have been in this.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we'll accept that, Jeff. Oops, all Asians. Like
oops,
you can
all
even call it
Asians.
"Oops, all Asians." Like it doesn't have to be, like it doesn't have to be a super serious like stop Asian hate sort of thing.
Hmm.
Just have fun with it. Yeah. Um, Rooting for Genevieve.
Hmm.
Genevieve or Camilla, right?
Hmm.
Um, uh, yeah, I want to see Camilla kick ass on this because like, if Tiffany had Kyun stipation, Camilla had Kyle Stipation in a way. You know? I mean, like um, like Colby no longer has to live in the
Yeah.
shadow of Jerry Matthew.
Hmm.
Um, if Jerry were on this season, I would hope that like the next time Jerry, no, she's probably not gonna ever say yes to Survivor anymore after this. But like if she were on the season, I would in an alternate universe. My hope would be that it wouldn't be a season involving Cody, Colby,
Mm.
rather, So there, yeah.
Cody, that's another guy. Imagine Cody, Ozzy, and Cody and Ozzy hanging out, right?
Oh, there.
So
Mike White
many, so
seems
many
like a funny
names.
casting choice, but yeah. Again, 48 should have been in a new season, a new era All Stars, or they can do that with like 51 or 52. Just give us a new era
Mm.
All Stars so we can see some of like the new era All Stars.
Hmm.
Um, so we can build more legends, so we
True.
have chances for people to become two-time winners and you know
Yeah.
multiple appearances that can build a legacy because a lot of Survivor's legacy has been based on the legendary status of multiple time players.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The legend that they have built, and because of the fact that they've been able to play multiple times. I mean, Siri, her first run was already sort of monumental because she had that story of being of standing up from the couch, right, and applying for Survivor. And
Yeah.
throughout the years, she became part of that Black Widow group, right? And yeah, it's because of all that Aussie all throughout this, all of the millions of times that he's been on, right?
Yeah.
He's still not a good actor. Uh,
or even like even some of the people that aren't here, right? Like,
mm,
Parv.
mm, yeah,
Parv was legendary, because of the multiple seasons that she
yeah.
played. Um, like Boston Rob,
Boston Rob.
his first appearance, he was just the dude that built a nice shelter. At least
Yeah,
that's what I thought when I first saw the
he
season.
was. Yeah, he was
You know?
negligible in his first season.
Yeah, right. So like, that could be Tiffany, So you have an entire like cast of people. Um, you have 5 years worth of people
Hmm.
that can end up becoming legendary. So,
Yeah,
more returning seasons, please. I can't believe
maybe
I'm saying that.
before we were like, okay, we need new people, but yeah, I
Mm.
mean, you've accumulated enough names, enough castaways to be able to like ask for a returning season of those, like, so how many 18 times 5, so that's 90 names, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, you're bound to have a lot of good names, right? A lot of good players who are just waiting for the opportunity to play again.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm
on
just
to the next
glad
one.
that, I'm just glad that David versus Goliath is getting a lot of love. I really like that season.
Yeah.
And the only other like returning season after that was Winners at War. So,
Mm,
you know, I'm glad that David versus Goliath is getting love.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited for Christian and Vicky, but yeah, not excited in the sense that we're gonna we're gonna see him again, but also not excited because we're gonna see him again. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I like his like again like Rob Sesternino.
Mm,
Um, I really like Hibicki's analysis.
mm. Oh, wouldn't it
Like,
be nice if we had like, like what I do, have actual commentators during during the game. It becomes Big Brother. We're like, someone's actually saying Sister Nino is there. It's like, so we can see that yada 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 is moving there, yada yada Anyway.
Christian Hibiki and Rick Devon's banter is going to be amazing.
Mm, that's true. That's true. Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
Anyway, that's it. That's it for tonight's episode. We would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. At any rate, this has been Joel Parcon.
and I've had a lot of copium. This cast is okay.
I'm not yet there. I'm not there yet. Anyway, but we do hope that you will be there again soon on the council. Until then, stay safe, mga kalaro. The Titos have spoken.